I am back. After a few crazy months, a few car accidents, some surgery, but so much has happened behind the scenes. We got a new project car. Leo, the winner of our first giveaway ever, the $20,000 credit or VL Commodore. His car is well underway, getting the full high-end 9-inch differential conversion done. We've rescued one of Australia's best ever cars, the AU Falcon, an abandoned deceased estate vehicle that needed a full makeover, including paint correction, new bearings and brakes, exhaust, etc. Stay tuned for some updates on that. And we've also nearly finished Barra swapping my personal EA Ford Falcon, which is a 1988 model, and we're swapping in a 2008 BF engine into it.
Mexican cola!
We are giving away another 10k credit, link in QR, for us to either buy you, modify you, a Ford or Holden. What does that mean? If you don't have a car, we can buy a car with the money and use the remainder on it to fix it up. If you need a paint job done, if you need rust repairs done, if you want engine performance work done, or Barra swap done, or LS swap, whatever, depending on the budget, you can use some of it to go towards your car. Yes, we love giving away cars, but we realize that not all of you can store the cars. Some of you already have projects that you need help with. You might be short on funds, and $10,000 can go a long way. That can go towards an engine build, that can go towards body work, that can go towards roadworthy repairs, and your car will be featured on this channel. So let's show you a little bit more about Leo's car. If you haven't seen the previous episodes, Leo from Victoria originally chose to take that VL Commodore that we restored over 4 years, but then after receiving back his FG Falcon and driving it for the very first time on the road, he decided he wanted to do a 9-inch differential conversion. What does this mean? He's going to upgrade from the original independent rear suspension setup, which is still pretty proven in a lot of fast cars, to an even more reliable, beefy, chunky 35 spline axle monster of a rear end setup that is capable of going 7-second quarter-mile passes. And if you don't know how fast that is, it's very fast. So Leo decided that he wants to upgrade this diff to a 9-inch rear setup. The first thing we did was call around a few of the most proven shops in Melbourne, and let me just tell you, what an absolute disappointment. This is an issue that a lot of people can relate to. Most of the most busy and best shops that do the most high-end work, and I'm not saying that the one we chose is not high-end, but pretty much impossible to even get a reliable quote these days. It's unfortunate that some people can commit to doing a quote, commit to meetings, and commit to doing something and then just flake last second or just not even respond altogether. So I called around a few shops, and there's a lot of things to consider when doing a 9-inch rear diff conversion. So in summary, for drag racing, it's pretty much essential to have a reliable setup when having an extremely high horsepower car. Otherwise, you're just going to be breaking things all the time, not only making a mess of the track, endangering your and other people's life. So this setup that Leo's doing has been proven again and again with high-end drag cars, which is what we really need to get the power down to the ground in this absolute beast 1008 rear-wheel kilowatt car. But we found that one of the most quality and high-end shops in Melbourne is PSI Up, who do hundreds of high-end vehicles and do a range of fabrication work, including roll cages, 9-inch rear end conversions. They strengthen chassis, they can add parachutes. It's absolutely insane the quality of work they do. Let's just say we're very lucky to get into this shop. So Leo's car has arrived at PSI Up in Melbourne, the chosen workshop to do this amazing conversion. Have a look at some of these other cars. This is very similar to what is going to be happening to Leo's car. A reinforced rear end, absolutely massive diff center with 35 spline rear axles, which will be completely adjustable and safe. A more in-depth video with them on the next episode. Next, this AU Falcon that we saved from a deceased estate in Melbourne. So unfortunately, this car was parked up in someone's garage for a while, covered in dust. And the real estate agent, who I know, thought of me because he knows I have a small obsession with saving old cars. And he said, "Hey George, do you want this?" Initially, my thoughts were, no. I have too many cars already. But after seeing it in person, the car was speaking to me. A pretty clean car, looked like it had been owned by a P-plater before, which had already been lowered, in the beautiful sparkling burgundy paint that just needed a bit of a paint correction. And we ended up at On Duty Panels, where we did a full professional paint correction with Dilla himself, going through a full phase of decontamination, clay barring, and a 2-stage polish, which then included a ceramic coating. It came out absolutely phenomenal. Full video on that dropping in our private group. If you enter this 10K giveaway, you'll get to see that coming up soon. I've been a bit quiet lately. I've been extremely busy with work, and unfortunately I had a few teeth that had to be pulled out, and if anyone's ever had that happen before, oh my goodness, it's the worst pain ever. My own personal EA Falcon, the transmission started slipping, so the car's been off the road for over 6 months, just sitting in my backyard. It still drove, but I was just waiting to get stranded somewhere. The car is from 1988, which is pretty old now. It has the original 3.9 litre centerfire injection engine, which looks like a carburetor at first glance, but within the throttle body there, it has 2 injectors which squirt down. They were also blocked up, so the car was just running on straight gas. A few years ago, we wrecked a very low K 155,000 BF Falcon straight gas that we picked up for super cheap. We've kept a lot of the parts from that car, including the wiring loom, cluster, engine, gearbox. We sold off a lot of parts to recoup the money that we bought it from. So this is a super smart way to do a engine conversion if you have the time, the space, and the money. Yes, it's laborsome to pull the car apart, but what you can do is buy the car from Mannheim auctions, which is what I did. It was hitting the front end just lightly. The car was a repairable write-off. However, I bought it because it was such low kilometers and had the green top gas Barra engine. Some people have pushed these engines to around 400 to 500 real kilowatt. However, they do have other issues such as valve recession. Hopefully this one is good. So what we've done is taken all the conversion parts we need from this car, and I sold off all of the rest of the parts. It looks like we got the motor and gearbox for free, which is amazing. We have bought a Bill Hooton conversion loom. And for those who don't know, Bill is one of the most well-known wiring loom people. However, I've heard recently that he's been out of action, and a couple of my mates have tried to get their looms done by him but have failed to get them in time, and apparently the communication's been pretty poor. But I was pretty lucky to pick one up from someone who was going to swap their EA Falcon to a BF engine. So we got that. Thomas, my 16-year-old son, has pretty much done all the work himself. So Thomas fitted the loom into the car after we removed the old engine. We've also bought a Barra module to allow the original dash cluster to work. And one of the biggest mods we're doing to this car is also running a ZF gearbox. So a 6-speed automatic transmission that originated from BMW, which were known for their seamless gear changes and high horsepower capabilities even in stock form. So it's going to be interesting to see how well this car drives after we're complete. We're doing an EL thermofan conversion. Apparently they're plug and play pretty much. And we've also got an AEM wideband controller to fit into the car, which will allow us to monitor the air to fuel ratios when we're driving, so we can self-tune this car on the street, making sure we're not leaning out the motor and melting pistons. Big video upcoming on that. Click on that QR code if you want to win the next 10K giveaway. If you need some funds to work on your project, whether it's a paint correction, whether it's a diff conversion, whether it's a Barra engine swap, whether it's some rust repairs, consider entering our private car group where you will win the chance to win $10,000 credit and be featured on this channel, just like Leo has, or have some work done to your car like this EA, or a paint correction like the AU. You can even put money on top if you want, if you have it. If not, you can use all the credit to either buy yourself a car, improve your current one. Let's fucking go. Stay tuned for my next video. I tried to help an old man and it went wrong. I actually lent him my car and then he crashed it, fixed it himself, and then lied about it. What a world we live in. Thanks for watching, guys. Stay safe, and I'll see you in the next video.